Meanwhile, more money will soon be in the pockets of Florida teachers.
That's right. Governor Ron DeSantis announced this morning he's signing off on that portion of the next state budget. But teacher unions were quick to criticize. They said it is not enough to fix Florida's dismal average teacher salary.
Capitol reporter Forrest Saunders is in Tallahassee for us with the details tonight.
Florida students Monday sharing worrisome stories about their public teachers.
And he said that he could not afford to teach at our school anymore because his car broke down.
Some unable to afford the cost of Florida on salaries they consider too slim.
Our AP pre-calculus teacher and AP stats teacher left halfway through the year, and these students were left without a teacher for weeks.
The Florida Education Association, the state's largest teacher union, says it's a systemic problem and now is taking issue with the new state budget for not doing more to help.
Teachers can't afford to be teachers anymore. And all they're asking for is to be paid enough so that they can pay their bills, go to the doctor when they're not feeling well, and do their jobs.
Their virtual press call comes after Monday's announcement from Governor Ron DeSantis.
Now, in terms of teacher pay,
he's greenlighting another pay increase for public teachers, reaching a total of about $1.25 billion, the highest allotment in Florida history. That's about $200 million more than the current year's pay. And one more reason, says the governor, why U.S. News and World Report ranks Florida education first in the nation for a second year.
we're proud to rank #1 in education. We're not going to take our foot off the gas pedal one bit.
But that $200 million looks a lot different when you average it all out equally among the state's approximately 185,000 teachers. It's about $1,081 per teacher, and over 9 months, roughly $120 a month before taxes. Florida already ranks among the lowest in the nation for average teacher salaries. The National Education Association listed the state 50th in a recent study. Starting wages among the highest, however, 16th.
Let's look at that study that was created by the NEA. It's self-serving. They're coming up with numbers to bolster their membership in other states and try to dump on Florida.
Either way, Ed Commissioner Manny Diaz dismissed that report when we last spoke.
You've seen $4 billion invested in teacher pay directly by this governor since the beginning of his first term, and our initial teacher pay has gone from $40,000 to $48,000.
And starting wages have been a huge focus for DeSantis since taking office, trying to combat a national teacher shortage. While he and other GOP leaders believe they're making progress, FEA and other unions say $2.5 billion for the next 7 years is the only way to truly fix the problem.
Meanwhile, Forrest joins me live. And Forrest, as you said before, education and teachers' pay, really one of the biggest topics here in Florida. I understand you recently spoke with a panel of teachers and parents about the role education will play in the November election. So what did you hear from them?
Well, there was a lot of concern over some of the culture war issues that we've had in Florida classrooms, whether that is the teaching of gender and sexuality, transgender issues, Title IX expansion by the Biden administration. Those are all playing very large. But Florida Atlantic University recently polled a bunch of Floridians to find out their top topics for the election, and education didn't even rank. It was somewhere in that 7% of other issues, according to the poll. The top issue for Floridians was actually immigration as well as the economy. Abortion was somewhere in the middle, and then you had environmentalism and all of those other issues, but we didn't even see education make an appearance. So it doesn't look like at this point it's going to be a major driver of turnout, but it is definitely something to keep our eyes on.
For sure. And real quick before we let you go, today's announcement was just for part of the full budget. So have you gotten any indication of when Governor Ron DeSantis will finally sign that budget?
That's a $117.5 billion question, and we're all trying to figure out when it's going to be. The governor keeps saying it's going to be soon, and we expect that that is true. He does have to sign this thing before July 1st, because that's when the next budget takes effect. He says he's gotten through about 90% of the budget, and he expects to pare it back by about $1 billion. So it's going to be more in line with our current fiscal year, $116.5 billion. And a lot of those cuts probably going to come from member projects, which you and I know more commonly as pork barrel legislation. Those are the things that lawmakers bring back to their districts and say, hey, look, I built that bridge for you. So we expect some cuts to come from that. We just don't know how much yet.
All right, Forrest Saunders live for us in Tallahassee tonight. Forrest, thank you so much for your time.